Hi again, it's Jackie Shelley. I'm back again to attempt once more to do some video blogging, and I've sort of been working myself up to this all day long. It's been quite a day for me. I've been experimenting with blogging on and off for the last few years unsuccessfully, and one of the things that I think I want to talk about a little bit in this segment is just the idea of failure, because there's a lot of perceived failure going on in my life right now, and I'm still struggling to figure out what exactly I'm doing here anyway. It's all very well to have a blog, and that's sort of, I know a lot of people who are bloggers or consider themselves bloggers, but many of them have a specific focus to their work outside of just being a blogger. Like, they're social media experts of one kind or another, social media marketing, or digital strategists, or brand experts, or they have some sort of specialty. Like two of my favorite bloggers and good friends of mine are Joshua and Ryan, who write for theminimalist.com, and so their website has a really clear focus around this whole idea of minimalism, and they have a really clear subject matter. I don't. I'm just here to talk about whatever pops into my little head, and there's on in my head. So today, like I said, it was a good day. It was interesting. I wrote a blog post starting maybe mid-morning, and I've been reading this week the work of James Altucher. I think that's how you say his name. So someone on Facebook, I don't even remember how I found it originally. I read another blog post. Someone referenced his work as being really interesting, and I hopped over to his blog early this week, and I was really astonished because of all the things I've read lately. His writing is extraordinarily honest, for one thing, and a little odd and strange, which in my book is actually a compliment, because I like things that are a little odd. I'm a little odd and strange, if you can't tell. So I like things that are a little odd, a little different, and he's definitely got something going on in his writing that really jumped out at me. And I'm still reading and exploring and trying to figure out what's going on there. But I interacted with him a little bit on Twitter a few days ago. I was excited enough that he followed me back on Twitter that I put it in its own blog post. I was like, I'm a huge fangirl. Anybody who knows me, you're going to be hearing a lot about my favorite people as about various things. And I sort of fall in love with people, and both male and female, trust me, there's no gender question here. So I get really enthusiastic, and I was interacting with James Altucher, and so his writing style definitely influenced the post that I did today. And I've also been doing a lot of reading. I'm not employed right now. I'm home, and I am relishing the chance to read, and especially a lot of literature, which I haven't done in a while. So throw all of this together. Somehow it came together into this crazy blog post that I wrote, and it's called "I'm Just a Girl." And I worked on this most of the day, and I posted it and tagged everyone that I mentioned in the post on Twitter, and lo and behold, James actually came and read my blog post, which completely made my day. But not only did he read it, but he responded in a way that sort of took me serious as a writer, which I don't even take myself seriously on any level, much less as a writer. But I think any former English major, which right here, any former English major probably secretly harbors a desire to be a famous writer. That's why we go into majoring in, a subject that's all about books and literature and reading people. I don't know. I have yet to meet an English major who doesn't secretly want to be like the next great American novelist, and so that might be colored by going to a school where I hung out with a lot of people that were in MFA programs trying to become writers, and inevitably, like, almost everyone I know that wanted to become an actual writer ended up teaching writing instead of going forth and selling forth and creating their great work. So I don't know where I'm going with all of this, but I wrote this blog post. This was the point I started with. And like I said, James Altucher came and commented and actually gave me, I wouldn't call it advice, although it's advice, but more, he discussed a little bit some of his workflow, like how he works. He said that he reads for several hours before he actually sits down to write the post, and also gave me a list of authors, both male and female, since part of my post was a bit feminist, and gave me some things to maybe go and start reading, and said some interesting things about why he reads autobiographical fiction, which all of the books I've been reading this week have been by women. I started with E.L. James and this this crazy 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I admit I did read this book and I actually liked it. Although I mocked it quite a bit on Facebook as well, but by a woman. And then I followed that up with a lovely book by Virginia Woolf called A Room of One's Own, which talk about feminism. Nice little kick in the ass there. Thank you, Virginia Woolf. And then went from there. She talks a lot about, well, her subject was women and fiction. And so she talked a lot about Charlotte Bronte and Jane Austen and various women that I've always had a soft spot for the Romantics. That was my subject area. 19th century British lit was something I focused on a lot. So I found myself going to the family bookshelf and pulling down a whole bunch of female authors. So I read Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, which I hadn't read in a very long, not since school, basically. And then I read Jane Austen's Lady Susan, which is probably one of the only Jane Austen books I haven't memorized by reading it so many times. And that one is an epistolary novel. So it's a novel written in the form of letters. And I could go on a lot about that subject, but I'll save that for another post. So Lady Susan, and then I followed that with I'm now reading Anne Bronte, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, which also happens to be a fairly feminist book for its time. And so I'm reading all of these romances, for one thing, a lot of Victorian lit, and just a lot of female writers back to back, and at the same time writing and reading about this James Altucher, and then today I found a couple of blog posts by Clay Hebert, and so sort of mixing more modern sort of tech entrepreneur business writing, I don't know what you call these people, bloggers, things that people send me on Facebook, or things that people that I follow and read talk about. So all of this has been going on, and I kind of was reading all of these things at the same time, and they all blurred together, as these tend to do when you read a bunch of things back to back. They sort of cross-fertilize and get mixed up together. So anyway, that was what was going on in my head, and that's what came out in this blog post. And so Marcy Masura came by and left a comment, and Clay Hebert and James Altucher. So these are all people that I really admire and respect. And it was probably, even though not all that many people read it today, it was probably my biggest success in blogging yet to date, just by the caliber of the people that came in to talk to me about it. And so that's made it kind of, it's made me step back a little bit and take myself more seriously in what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't know that I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. I doubt any of these people knew what they were doing when they started out either. But I'm definitely putting more effort into thinking about, all right, what am I going to do next? And it did give me that extra kick in the pants to say, like, all right, I've been talking about video blogging. I've put up maybe 2 or 3 so far. And I just said, well, it's been a long day. Yes, you've already done a lot of writing today. But it's still time to kind of sit up and try to bring it together and do some talking about it. So I don't know. I'm completely rambling in this one, as I probably will many times, but that's basically it for this this video blog. And then, like I said, I want to come back to this subject of failure because I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing some writing. Failure to keep my own hair out of my eyes. Apparently, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing some writing specifically about that topic. I don't know where to go with that. I know that I'm struggling in a lot of ways, and one of the things I'm trying to figure out is how to not just make this about ego, because it so easily could be. I mean, here I'm like looking at myself on the screen as I'm recording this, and it so easily becomes about me and my ego and and what I like. But it's really, I started getting into this because I want to try to help people, and that seems to be the secret somehow to being effective at any of this. So I'm trying to figure out maybe how do I help myself get unstuck, and maybe in the process of getting unstuck, maybe that's the way to help other people. So this is my theory. Take it for what it is. So I'll stop there. I was trying to keep these somewhat close to 10 minutes, and then hopefully I'm going to be doing some more of these tonight, just while I still have the enthusiasm for it, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so on to the next one. Talk to you soon.